It is I, Archangel Michael. I come with my sword of truth so that each of you knows that your truth is what is most valuable in your awareness. I am holding my sword. I shall put the point down to make a point. And that is that your alignment with your truth is the sword that cuts away all other opinions, consciousness, and awareness that is not aligned with you. It is a good thing to be in alignment with truth. Now, what is truth? You might have a different truth than you, and vice versa, all the way around. You all will have a different point of view. But point of view is different than the alignment with your spirit in truth. Alignment with your spirit in truth is resonating with your own divine awareness. Does that make sense? Yes. That is not opinion, judgment, or skepticism. That is, what is it that is aligning with your spine, your truth of your integrity? That is the sword of truth. And I often bring it to help people discern from that which is no longer serving them, that they need to cut away, and that which is in alignment with their highest and wisest good. Does that make sense? Yes. So I come to you tonight to share with you the importance of that sword of truth in discerning what are lies coming to you and what is the truth. Notice it in here, in your heart, and especially in your high heart, because each one of you has a place in your high heart that resonates with the truth of the divine consciousness. Each and every one of you has that. It's right here in your thymus gland. It's up here. And that's why Robin wears this, because it's a flame that talks about her own alignment with that truth. And it is, from her mother anyway. But we want to say that the more aligned you are with your vertical consciousness, that Earth Mother energy and the Sky Father energy that then comes through you and moves you into the directions you need to go, that is your spinal column, that is your Sushumna, that is the core of your being, that gives you the right alignment and direction. So get in touch with it. Do those 3 stars. Do the 7 chakras. Align your chakras. You have this tube of light that goes right through the middle of your body. And as you are aligned with it, you are also aligned with your true nature, your higher consciousness, your divine consciousness. Does that make sense? Any questions? Yes. Yes.
I'm really curious about these grids, energetic grids around the planet, and particularly this blue grid, or this grid that's connected to a very blue place.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Grids are the acupuncture meridians of the Mother Earth. And the sky grids, there's a new, shall I say, grid coming in, a sky grid of the blue, that is aligning people with the star essence, the star beingness. So in Robin's work, much of what she does is help people get aligned with their star essence. Their star essence is the part of them that has the blueprint for their lives. Some of you are already aligned with that. You already know your purpose here. And you have been doing it for some time, living it out. But now that grid is coming over and aligning, shaking things up a little bit and saying, no, this is the direction you need to go, not that. You see? Does that make sense? So the grid work is like, imagine that stars are descending and they are lighting up people, going through their bodies to align with their higher energies, burning off the old, and so people can align more connected with their truth. So the grid work is over everything, however. Are several grid works. One are the geomantic grids in the earth. Geomancy is the science of the acupuncture meridians of the earth. And there are power points, usually in mountain ranges or specific mountains like Mount Shasta, and in many other mountains. But that's one grid work. Then there's another grid work that goes over everything. It's part of the trees, the light, the sun, it's everything. And it goes over everything like a veil. And so when I imagine to perceive someone on the other side of the world, I need their coordinates, their name, their birthplace or their place of origin, wherever they're living, and then the name of the place where they are and the coordinates of where they are. And then it's almost like you can move on the grid work and say, oh, pinpoint that person. There they are. That's why Robin can do readings all over the world. She just needs their name and their location and where are they located and how are they seated and when was their birth time, and boom, she can do a whole reading about their Akashic record, what their soul journey has been. What are they doing here? Why are they here? So that's another grid work, the psychic grid work. Now there's a new grid work that's coming in, this blue one. And that one is going to help very subtly align people with where they need to be going. Sometimes there are shakeups where people need to move around, and they may be moving. People may be moving around. But it's like a magnet to those that are aligned with that light or that grid work to come together to form a community that will then support and help this transition. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yes. So that it's like, imagine 3 layers of grids that we're all connected to. One is in the earth, and you have them right in your bodies, you know. You have 3 stars, the one above your head, the one in your heart, and the one in your pelvis. This connects you with the earth and your relationship with the mother. This connects you with other people and your relationship with other people. And this one connects you with the star beings and the star essence. So it's as if those points of light are coming in, touching the head, and saying, you know, now it is time to get aligned, and we're going to move into the next millennia. See? Good. Yes, yes.
Are there going to be a lot of earth changes during this transition?
There may be, yes.
So it's not written in stone. It very much depends on the fluidity of the consciousness being developed on the planet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Emotions, the storms, the tornadoes, that's all human emotion.
Yeah.
And even the tsunamis and the hurricanes, it's all about the human emotion going wild on the planet. The more you get in touch with yourself and get aligned and have no fear and rest in the love that the Mother Earth is, the less traumatic your life will be. And those that have to go through that, go through it for their own spiritual growth and development and their own purification. And their attachment to material things that then have to leave and they have to begin again. But it's actually what's forming out of paradise and many of these communities that have been completely destroyed is a whole new way of creating community. Not to just rebuild the old house again, but to rebuild a house that will be sustainable in fire districts, you see. A house that will be on a new kind of grid work. Some of the communities that burned down have no sewage systems, no plumbing. So they're having to put in all of that kind of stuff now. And now's a great time to do it because everything's gone, so you can put it in wherever you need it to be put in, you see.
And they're starting permaculture there as well. So.
Permaculture, yes. Permaculture can be created. So there's the new, it's an opportunity for the new to begin. You know, when the Chicago fire, Robin's from the Midwest, so she has to bring in the Midwest. And she was saying, Chicago fire. So Chicago fire, when that occurred, it was considered to be a terrible disaster. But actually, it was an opportunity for the entire community to come together and say, what kind of city do we want to build? And immediately they decided we need a green space all along the waterfront so that no one has exclusive use of the waterfront. We need to have river walkways. We need to have places for people to have parks. And so because the entire city was destroyed, they had the opportunity to build, rebuild, and it was a swamp. You see, Chicago was built on a swamp. So it redirected the river. It did some things that we are not happy with, but that will reverse itself. And but it did give the entire community an opportunity to say, how are we going to organize this city? And now it's one of the most beautiful and accessible and human cities in the Midwest. And the entire waterfront, from Wilmette all the way down to South Bend, it has access. There's access all the way down to the Loop anyway. There's access all along that beautiful waterway for people to walk and have parks and picnics and so on and so forth. Lincoln Park was created because of the fire. So there's a great opportunity in these small communities if they can get over the shock and move forward in a new alignment. You see, how wonderful. Yes.
Just a little bit different kind of question. When you first came in, Michael, I felt so much presence and strength.
Yes.
And when I hear about you, I hear about strength and that you make a path, maybe for those who can't clear the path for themselves. And there's so many things that you do for others.
Yes.
And just from personal experience in my life, I know a long time ago you were clearing a path for me, and I know of someone now that you're diligently working for. So I just wanted to hear more about when people call on you and what are some of the things that you do for others.
At your service. Well, I am one of the archangels, and all of us are omnipresent. So we are able to be here and in a million places at once. We have that, it's a stage of growth, a stage of capability, shall we say. So the growth does not stop once you leave the body. You see, if you choose to leave the body and you go to the other side or your time is over, and you choose to help other people, you begin by being a spirit guide that can be supportive of the person. Then you can move into a communion with other souls and work in a collective, and then from there you can develop omnipotence and move from one place to the other without any thought or effort. So what we are doing as a team is we are holding, I am in charge of this transition of the earth. And so that is my job. And so my job is also the truth telling. You see, that is what the sword of truth is about. And the capability of others to understand their alignment with their own beings. So when you call on me, don't think you're taking my energy, because you're not. There is plenty to go around. And abundance of love and harmony and peace is part of what I do. And there is no real personal I here. It is a collective consciousness of divine love. So I am one of many other divine beings that are here to support the whole.
And the strength that you have, it's just palatable.
It is what you wish to have in your own alignment that you are needing right now, you see. And that strength is your spine, your light that comes through your spine. You all have it. And you need to strengthen it and work with it. And have it as a lightning rod for yourselves. You see, Robin had a guest last weekend, and it was all weekend. It was a little too much for her. 4 days, 5 days, whatever. You know the old saying about fish and relatives or something. Anyway, it was when this person left, she could feel there were cords everywhere, and she had to pull the cords out. And when she did that, suddenly her energy came back, and she realized she'd been drained by this person, drained physically, with all these cords. So now that she pulled them out, her reality is, no way am I going to be in a communion or a relationship with this person. And it's not going to help me to stay connected. But what it did do was it gave her a perspective of many things and of a relationship in general that's no longer suiting her. See, so she got a good view of that, and now she can move on. So what I wish to say about that is her own alignment was affected by this person to a detrimental degree. And you have to pay then the way she rectified it. As she came back into herself, she noticed her chakras were off. She saw the cords, she pulled them out, and then bam, her own energy was back in alignment. So it's very important to keep in touch with that core so you can see when it's out of whack. Yes. And you may need more time with yourselves. This is another thing, so that you can come into your own alignment. A little time out, meditation time out, a little time out in the evening. This may be what you need to do. Yes?
So I have a question about cord cutting.
Cord cutting.
And the methodology around it, because I hear different people say different things about doing.
Good question. We do not recommend cord cutting. We recommend taking a look at the hook and the eye of the cord, because there's an eye in the person sometimes, and in that other person, that the hook is then attaching to. And usually on the hook or on the eye, there is a word. So if you look at the eye, and the eye is the ego, by the way, the ego eye, you see, you can look on that eye within the self and see, oh, that says mother. Do I want to be that person's mother? No. Especially if they're grown. Not with small children. You want to do that, but with adult people or relationships, especially for women. This often occurs with relationships where men want to be nurtured and mothered, and they can be infantile then. No, they're adults. They need to be on their.
There's just more of an
Unhooking, and then unscrewing. If you can imagine unscrewing the eye like a latch, dropping it, and you become aware of where that hook is. You see where that hook hooks into you. You unscrew it and drop it down through your root chakra and give it back to the Mother Earth. And then you can do a little healing, put some light into that spot. That's what we recommend.
Oh, thank you.
We are running out of time, unfortunately, so I'm going to depart, and we have one more visitor, so namaste. Hello. It is I, StarWoman. One more time. Whew. Yes, you see the vastness of my being comes into this small body, and it takes a little time to get it fully engaged. So what I'd like you to do to close tonight is just to feel the waves of love that come from the universe, from my being, from the being of the body of the Divine Mother, and just feel the waves of light coming through you. You are truly in a sea of love. And if you remember this, remember the love is coming out of the earth, just falling from the sky, just coming through you all. It will dissolve your fears, your angers, your resentments, your disgust at what's happening. Just know it's all in divine order. And the benevolence of light and healing is what runs this earth and this universe. Love runs this earth and universe. Your expansion is what's needed now. Your expansion of awareness, consciousness of your own energetic field and of your bodies. And that does not mean gaining weight. It means expanding your field of influence, your light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know we could probably be here another hour with all the information coming in. So I'm going to open up the circle of light and healing and give thanks for what's been offered and what's been received, and know that as we heal ourselves, we heal all relations. And so it is. The circle's open and unbroken. Well, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate having you here. And if you didn't sign the list, please do. I have books and CDs and all that good stuff in the back if you're interested. And if you're not, if you could just pick up your chairs and put them in the curtain, that will help save a lot of time for me and also help me a lot. They shouldn't be on the wall. They should be behind the curtain back there. So,
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Yeah.
Wow.
How you doing?
You know, it might be fun to have a silent, just for fun, giggles and kicks, have a silent time when they come in. I don't know, just really tapping into what their energy is like and feeling that. I don't know, at some point it might be fun for 5 minutes or something, because it's
Well, that's why
so
she was
powerful.
quiet at the end. But if you
Yeah.
think of her, just think of her, and you'll have that silence.
Wow, that was the most incredible experience. That whole channel was very authentic and very real.
Thank you. Wow. I had nothing to do with it.